You ready to turn a random fact into 5 different emails? Here we go. Today's random fact of the day is giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people. Kind of a dreary topic, but we're going to go with it. Let's have fun with this. I've got 5 different brand voice types written right here on this slip of paper, and I'm going to show you how I can turn that fact into 5 different sounding emails. Our first voice of the day is Yogi, which is a voice of accessibility. It's all about the feeling of change. It's about internal motivations, and it's about some of the drivers. It's got a long, flowy cadence that tends to go a little bit longer than most copywriters go. Very often a majestic type of feeling, a little woo-woo and spiritual. So let's see how that goes. With giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people, because we have to be careful on our way up. The closer we are to our dreams and the sky and our goals, as we move up the ladder, things can get a little treacherous. They can be a little scarier. There are some new dangers and threats to us that we might not become aware of until it's too late. By advancing and by going into the levels in the stratosphere that we think that we might want to achieve, we might be exposing ourselves to dangers that we're not yet aware of. Sometimes the best and safest place to be is where you are. Maybe that's where you're intended to be, because there are very often times that we want to change, that we want to grow, and that can be great. It is great to be up in new places and elevated areas where we can try new things. Giraffes, they get to nibble off of the top of the trees, which is a place that most of us don't ever go. And there is beauty in that, but there also are threats. We get to decide if that is an area that we want to continue to achieve once we become aware of the new challenges of being there, or maybe we find comfort in being who we are. Brand voice can be the same way. We might want to change, but there are going to be elements and new challenges to reaching those places that we might not yet be aware of. Sometimes it's safer to be where we are. Sometimes it's worth the risk to grow. Okay, that's actually not too bad, right? That's the Yogi. You see how it was a little softer. I was speaking slower. The sentences went on. So let's contradict that with the next one on my list is the parent. The parent is a voice of authority. It's a nurturing brand. It's someone who wants to protect you from making the same mistakes as they did. So giraffes are 30 times more likely to be hit by lightning than people. That's something that we want to be aware of, but it might not be something that we want to let stop us. Because even though they're 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning, they get to eat from the top of the trees. They get to be majestic. They get to run. They have very few predators because they're safer. There are always going to be risks to anything that we're going to do, but there are also so many advantages. So it's okay to want to be a giraffe. It's okay to go for those goals. It's okay to run free. But we do want to be aware that there's always going to be some threat, no matter what. We just want to be aware of it. We want to be prepared for it. We want to avoid some of the challenges and mistakes that others have made, so we know what direction to go. We can still get there. We can still be a giraffe. If you want to be a giraffe, be a giraffe. If you want to be a snake, be a snake. You get to choose whatever you want to be. You have the power. You have the capabilities. We're in a time where almost anything is possible. We can do all these things. You know what? Not even almost anything. Anything is possible. If you set your mind to it, you can do it. I believe in you. I'm going to show you how to make this work. Come with me, and I will show you how little changes can have big impacts just simply by changing the way that we speak, by adjusting the vocabulary, the tone and cadence. I can get you exactly where you want to go. There's going to be threats no matter where you go, but we can make it there. We can keep you as safe as possible. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to be here for you. If you want to come on along with me, just hold my hand and I'll get you there. All right. So a little bit more involved. So I still kind of went with a threat of something there, but it's like, this is saying it's worth the risk. It's believing in you. So a little bit different there. Next up, we've got a translator. A translator is also a voice of authority, but what's different is they are more about simplistic elements. They're about making the complex simple, easily understood, shorter cadence, basic vocabulary, almost like a children's book. Think about learning for dummies, that type of element. A giraffe is 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people. That makes sense. It's taller. As you grow, you're going to have new challenges. There will be threats. Doesn't mean it's not worth growing, just means that we have to be aware of it. That's true of anything. New level, new devil. That's always there. There's always going to be something. We might not be aware of it until it's too late. But there are ways to plan ahead by using the right mentors, by using the right guides, by following people who are steps ahead of us. They can relay the information back. That's easy to do. You find the right coach, you find someone, they can protect you. Yes, some of the challenges will come from above rather than below. We don't have to worry about hunters as much. We don't have to worry about, snakes or rhinos or anything like that when we're a giraffe, but we do have threats that come from above. We just want to be aware of it. Doesn't mean it's not worth going after. By protecting yourself and even knowing what to do when it rains, being under a tree rather than out open in the savannah, we can even minimize those threats. There are ways to be safer. There are ways to grow. Brand voice is the same way. We want to be aware of the threats from above and the safest place to be. We just need to understand where to be in what type of atmosphere, how to react, how to blend, how to camouflage ourselves, how to stand out. We get to choose all of these elements based off of who we are, where we want to be, and our surroundings. It's situational. There are steps and there is a process to elevating yourself and maintaining yourself and being the best version of you and getting where you want to be. Okay, so that's a translator one. Kind of simple, shorter, choppier, different flow. So I was actually kind of using my hands like that to even be a little bit more descriptive. Next voice we're going to do is underdog. Underdog is a voice of outlook. It's the little guy who's fighting for something but hasn't won yet. Think about the Cinderella stories, the Rockies, the Rudies, the people that are fighting for a change. They're not fighting against something. They're fighting for something. They're David versus Goliath. They're the little guy against the big entity. So giraffes are 30 times more likely to be hit by lightning than people. That's great for us. Think about how much more at risk the giraffe is than us, the people. We're nimble. We're little. We can get through the cracks. We can be unnoticed by the authorities from the people looking above that are coming from below. They are at bigger risk than we are. We're free. This is an advantage for us. It means that during a rainstorm, we are safer than they are. We can hide underneath them. We can duck into houses. We can avoid the elements. We can avoid the risks. This is our advantage. We are 30 times less likely to face the same dangers than they are. That's a huge win for us. We're 1/3 more likely to win than them. That means more of us can get through. Sure, there's still going to be some risks. There always are. But our smallness, our camouflage, our littleness is actually an advantage here. We don't have the same big threats that they do. We're safer. We are protected. This is our advantage. Brand voice is the same way. By focusing on some of the smaller details, that's what makes us unique. That's our advantage. We can use the quiet nature of our voice to actually have a bigger resonance, to reach more people, to get to the finish line without the same risks and threats that the big guys have. We're going to be small. That's why we're going to win. We can elevate our power in the right direction to get where we're going safer. Okay, that was pretty nice. We changed the con to the pro. Being small is an advantage right there. Next up is friend at the bar. That's the buddy voice, the casual nature. It's a voice of accessibility. It's someone who's on the same level as you. Giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people. That's not to say that people don't get hit by lightning, and that's not to say that people don't survive. Sure, you might wind up being able to hear a radio station in your teeth after you do it, but people get hit all the time. It happens in movies. It happens in comic books. Sometimes that's the origin of a superpower, right? I think that was the Flash. He was like working on some chemicals and lightning came through the window and exploded it. And that's how he became fast, right? So that can be a good thing, being hit by lightning. Sometimes we want lightning to strike. We have brainstorms. We have, the light bulb, Edison. That's where, flying the kite in the rainstorm, we can turn that threat into an advantage. Heck, maybe we can even ride the giraffe. Maybe we can increase our chances of getting hit by lightning. Knowing that, we can have fun with this, man. We can ride a giraffe all the way to the finish line. We know where some of the dangers are going to be. We know where some of the safety is going to be. We can combine that and just have fun with it, man. Can you imagine just riding a giraffe, getting hit by lightning in a storm? That's a great story. No matter what happens, whatever the outcome is going to be, you're going to come out differently. You might be as tall as a giraffe. You might be hiding for safety underneath one, but you're going to have a good story. We're going to come out of this okay. We don't know what the future is going to be. We know what some of the risks are. We know where some of the safety is. And that's all we can do. We're just going to ride it through. Brand voice is the same thing. We don't know exactly where it is that we're going, but the ride's going to be fun. We're going to enjoy this. We're going to have a good time. Lightning's going to strike, and it's going to be the best damn moment of our life. All right. So I'm just kind of having fun, but this is the way that we can just take a random fact and create whatever we want out of it. We can change the vocabulary, tone, and cadence to give it a completely different feel, totally different ending, no matter what it is that we're selling. If you want to get better at spotting hooks and being able to craft it in your brand voice, check out the Brand Voice Bundle. It's a great way to do what I just did, but you get the pleasure of a safety net while you nerd out.